Yo, I want to show you how you can sell on eBay in mass just from your phone. First, you need to make sure you take quality photos. Get your lighting right, set up a prop, and take good photos. That's the number one key piece of advice to start. Now, once you do have your photos all ready to go, you want to go on the mobile internet browser and enable desktop version. This is critical. You can go to your settings, scroll down, and then enable desktop website. Once you have that, you can act as if you're on a browser and actually list eBay offers or pictures in mass quantity. Now, scroll down to listings, click on photo upload, and then scroll over to the selected photo count. Once you do have all of your photos uploaded, I select two at a time, front and back. I upload to the photo library itself, grab all of the photos that are the ones that I am selling for that duration of time, and then boom, I can mass upload a bunch, and then eBay will do a lot of the work to match to the actual listings. Now, this is not perfect. I will say it does get it right for older cards, but newer versions, you're going to have to go through and update it. But this gives you the ability to do it really, really fast. Now, I typically do this on a desktop after change, add the condition, whether it's PSA or if it's not graded or if it's in bad condition. Just put what you know is to be right, apply those filters, and then you'll be able to apply as many filters as you really want. You can actually even set up like, the pricing format or the shipping or the auction type. So these are all 99-cent listings as an example. I just applied 10 listings, so now they're ready to go. And then you can adjust other ones like the shipping policy. All of these are going to be standard eBay envelopes, which I will show you how to actually set up. It's important to have these types of settings in place so that it's easy peasy and you're getting everything off to the races. Now, after this, I typically will just apply a couple filters, right? Applying time, the starting time, I have things scheduled Friday through Sunday, starting from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Pretty standard for my selling process. Now, obviously, you would have to look up and figure out what works for you, but based on my customers, this has been my ideal time. So now I see that there's a couple of them that are not ready and not listing correctly. So I'll apply just a quick thing just because I know the card right away. But I'll typically do a lot of these variation adding and changing on the desktop version, actual computer, because it's just way easier, right? Because this is very wide and small. So I'll typically apply a save for later and come back to these cards in a couple days or just immediately right now. Now, let's say you just want to list one card. You can always go to the Sell Now on the app and take a photo of your card. It'll match to a card really quickly, and then you can just find one that has good specs, whatever it may be, click on it, scroll down to make sure everything looks good and all right, and then you can click on the three dots in the right hand corner and sell one like this. From here, everything is really typically set up already. You just got to upload your photo of the, pictures you took of the card itself and then adjust the key pieces like the pricing or the description. And you can apply these and change these as easy as you want, just on a one-off basis. This is actually how I used to list all of my cards until I figured out that I can do multiple cards all at once. So I thought this might be very useful to know just when you're just trying to list that one-off card. It's very simple to do. Again, you're applying all of the shipping policies, the pricing policies, you name it right here. There always will be icons to things where you need to have. So description as an example. I have a standard description that I use for all of my cards, but in this example, I'm just going to show you the AI functionality. In condition, again, you always have to apply these to be able to list them and actually get them going. for all of my one-off listings, I won't list it right away. I'll actually save it for later, so it's in my drafts, and then I can apply all the other filters just while I'm on the desktop. Super simple and easy to do. Now let's go to the desktop and actually show you what these drafts look like. So when you apply features, so in this specific one is the business policies. This is where you're going to set up all your shipping. So I have a couple shipping set right now, right? eBay standard envelopes, all for those singled cars. This is important to have set up because there are different price points based on actual size of the envelope. So in this example, it's showing $1.25 for the card. Now, if I wanted to create one based on other policies, you can do so. So if we want to do like a 69-cent listings as an example for my shipping policy, that would be for 1 ounce eBay standard envelope, which is really any type of just normal letter envelope itself. Now, you can probably get away with doing like 3 cards in it. I typically say that if you're going to do 3 cards, charge them 125 as a standard cost. But if you're doing one single card, you can charge the buyer, 69 cents to ship just that one card. So here is where you would adjust that shipping. You can have it calculate based on the weights. Now, I've had a couple situations where I had to resend an invoice, so I am always doing a flat rate for my eBay envelopes now. It's just more beneficial to me, but this is where you would set up like, a lot shipment. So if you have more than 3 ounces, it would go into like a bubble mailer. And I already have that scheduled and set up. I have costs varied by location, so it'll calculate the cost based on where they're actually going to be shipping it from. And it'll also calculate it based on the size of the actual shipment, which I'll show you how to navigate there. Now, this is a key piece. I always have everything set up to no return policy for shipping cards because at the end of the day, I want my buyers to be able to contact me if there's something going on, and I'll make it right. Like I had a buyer the other day that had a cracked card because of an envelope. You know what? He bought another card and I sent him a bunch of free stuff because of it. And then you obviously have the ability to adjust, different ones. This is a priority mail. I got it scheduled for $10. It does cost, I think, $8.95 to send it to priority mail. So it's a little bit of fluctuation on what the cost would be. Now, this is one of the biggest important factors as a seller. I want to have quality customers. So I have this setting enabled where I block all buyers that have cancellations within the last 6 months. So now I'm getting away from those buyers that aren't consistent. I would rather have quality customers than a bunch of bad ones. And then I also give the ability to have the buyers being able to buy multiple products all at once and combining shipments so that they're getting a lot of value within my store itself. And under the selling preferences, this is where you'd be able to set up so they can do that. So awaiting payment, I have it scheduled right now to have 11 days and it'll automatically cancel. But I give also the ability for people to buy multiple products all at once. So they can combine payments into one shipment. So I give my buyers 7 days. They can buy as many as they want and they can get cheaper shipping. Now, one other piece of advice that I wanted to set up is how to adjust weights on a shipment itself. So if you're under an actual draft, you can click on the edit button and make sure that the size of the shipment is correct. So this is selling as a lot. So multiple cards in one. I have a standard template in place. I'll adjust that based on the lot size and then apply a specific size and package of the shipment itself. Now, this is important to understand because it will charge the buyer based on calculated shipping here. So if they're shipping from a far location, it could be more. If the package weighs more, then it could be more. I typically will have this between 3 and 5 to make sure that we are aligned on the same shipping. I don't want the buyer to pay too much and me to be also stuck with the bill as well. So make sure that you are doing it here to adjust that on the front end. You can calculate it based on like an eBay calculator tool online as well. The problem with that, you just don't know where they're buying from. so it's not going to give you perfect. But for me, I calculate it based on the amount of cards I'm selling. Now, the last thing that I want to show you is how to actually ship it out. So once you have a shipping ordered, ready to go, you can make sure the weights are all correct, adjustments all correct, the dimensions are correct, and then all you have to do is go to purchase shipping label. I have a thermal printer, so I print it directly from my thermal printer, which I'll put a link into the description on which one I use. If you don't and you're just starting, I typically would just have it in a piece of paper and then I would tape it to the box until I sold enough to get a thermal printer. And now once we have it printed out, this is where we package it directly into that eBay envelope. For me, I use these envelopes. They're nice, sturdy in size, and I'll always apply painter's tape to the top loader so the card doesn't slide. I'll also toss in my business card and another card to help with the protection. Depending on the size and the value of the card, it does change what this is. This went for 99 cents, so now it is going to be ready to ship. And I do have the thermal printed label, easy peasy to be able to apply. I block the customer's information. Now this is ready to go. Hope you enjoyed.